Hi friends, today we're going to talk about graphing inequalities. Not graphing inequalities on the number line, but actually graphing inequalities on the coordinate grid. So they'll have both x and y. So linear equalities can be greater than, they can be greater than or equal to, they can be less than, or they can be less than or equal to. The first part here is just verifying solutions. So we're going to plug the numbers in for x and y and see if it makes a true statement or a false statement. If it makes a true statement, then yes, it is a solution. If it makes a false statement, then no, it's not a solution. So for this first one here, I'm going to replace both x and y with 0. So is it true that 0 is greater than 0 plus 4? So is 0 greater than 4? No, so it's not a solution. This next one, I'll plug in 1 for x and 6 for y. So is it true that 6 is greater than 1 plus 4? Is it true that 6 is greater than 5? Yes, it is true, so that is a solution to that inequality. This last one, is it true that negative 15 is greater than negative 5 plus 4? Is it true that negative 15 is greater than negative 1? No, it is not. Negative 15 is less than negative 1. Same thing here. So we'll plug in the values for x and y. Now our inequality is y less than x plus 1. So is it true that 6 is less than 8 plus 1? Is it true that 6 is less than 9? Yes, it is true, so that is a solution. Is it true that negative 1 is less than negative 2 plus 1? So negative 1 less than negative 1. Negative 1 is not less than negative 1, it's equal to. So this is no. Then the last one, is it true that 4 is less than 3 plus 1? Is it true that 4 is less than 4? No, because they're equal. All right, now when we're graphing inequalities, there's two things you need to pay attention to. You need to pay attention to what type of line it is, and you need to pay attention to whether it's shaded above or below. So if we have greater than here, just greater than, it is a dashed line, and you shade above the line. If it's just less than, it's also a dashed line, but you shade below. So the less than means below. If it's greater than or equal to, so it has the equal to sign as well, then you have a solid line, but it's shaded above. And then less than or equal to, solid line, but shaded below. So anything greater than or equal to will be shaded above. Less than or equal to will be shaded below. And then if it's just greater than or just less than, it's a dashed line. And if it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, it is a solid line. Now, where the above and below is depends on whether the line is going up or line is going down. So for shading above, if we have a line going up, then you would shade this way. If you have a line going down, then above this line would be on this side. And then below, if we have a line going up, below that line would be down here. And if we have a line going down, below that line would be down here. So we can't just say whether we're shading to the left or the right. It has to be above the line or below the line. So let's write some inequalities from the graphs. We're going to look for the slope, the y-intercept, whether it's a dashed line or solid line, and whether it's above or below. First, let's look at the y-intercept. Remember, these are in the form y greater than or less than mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So the y-intercept of this one is 3. There's our y-intercept. And then to find our slope, if we look at those 2 points, I go down 2 over 1. so the slope is -2. I can tell that it's shaded above the line, so I know it's going to be greater than. And it's a solid line, so greater than or equal to slope times x plus y-intercept. Plus y-intercept. So look at this one. Our y-intercept is at 2. Our slope, if we look at those 2 points, I go down 2 over 3. So my slope is -2/3. It's shaded below, so it's less than. And it's a dashed line, so I won't have the equal to sign underneath. So y is less than -2/3 x plus 2. Let's look at this one. Our y-intercept is -4. Our slope, if I find 2 points here, I'm going up 1 and over 2, so my slope is +1/2. We're shaded below, so it's going to be less than, and it's a solid line, so I know it will be less than or equal to 1/2 x take away 4, or you could say plus -4. One more here. Our y-intercept is at 4. Our slope, if we find 2 points, we go up 2 over 2. So our slope is 2 over 2, which is the same as 1. It's shaded above, so I know it's going to be greater than. It's a dashed line, so it's just greater than. We can say 1x or just x plus 4. And then the last thing you need to do here is graph these. First thing we need to do is get y by itself if it isn't already. So if we have x minus 2y less than 5, I'm going to take x from both sides. And then I have -2y less than -x plus 5. And then divide everything by -2. Remember, when we divide by a negative, we have to switch the inequality. So then I get y greater than -x over -2 is like 1/2 x. And then 5 over -2 is -2.5. So my y-intercept is -2.5. My slope is 1/2. And since it's greater than, I'm going to be shading above. So remember, we start with our y-intercept, -2.5. From here, I'm going to go up 1 and over 2. To get my next point, I'm going to do that one more time. Up 1 and over 2. And we have a dashed line. So I'm going to make a dashed line through here. Make sure it extends in both directions. Make sure it's a line. And we're shading above. So that will be up here. All right, 2x minus 3y less than 6. So I already know it's going to be a dashed line because it's just less than. I don't know whether it's going to be above or below yet until I get y by itself. So take 2x from both sides. -3y less than -2x plus 6. Dividing everything by a -3. Again, we're dividing by a negative, so we have to flip the inequality symbol. So then I get y greater than -2 over -3 is like 2 over 3. 6 divided by -3 is -2. So our y-intercept is -2. Our slope is 2/3, and it's greater than, so I'm going to be shading above. So again, I'll start at my y-intercept, -2, and then up 2 over 3. I'll do that one more time so I can have 3 points. Up 2 over 1, 2, 3. Again, it's a dashed line. Make sure it's a line. And we are shading above. All right. 2x take away y greater than or equal to 3. First, we'll take 2x on both sides. Negative y greater than negative 2x plus 3. And then dividing by negative 1. We need to switch the sign. So y less than or equal to 2x take away 3. If we simplify those. So here my y-intercept is negative 3. My slope is 2 over 1. And this one I'm going to be shading below because it's less than. So I start at negative 3, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. We're going to do a solid line through these in both directions. Make sure it's a line, and we're shading below. Our last one, y is already by itself. Negative 4x is the same as negative 4x plus 0. So our y-intercept is 0, and our slope is negative 4. It's less than or equal to, so we're going to be shading below. So I start at 0. Remember, negative 4 is like negative 4 over 1. So I go down 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. And then I'm also going to go up and left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 1. And then graphing this. Make sure you have your arrows, and we are shading below. All right, friends, have a good day.